Spinal from Changzhou Meditech.
This is Steven. I'm the engineer from Changzhou Meditech.
Today we will introduce 3 cervical cages to you. One is our new product, the UNIC standalone cervical cage, and the other 2 is cervical cages with 2 locking screws and 4 locking screws. And first of all, we will introduce our new product, the UNIC standalone cervical cage with sterilization package. And we will demonstrate its cooperation with you together. On the right is the implants of the cage. It consists of 2 parts. One is the pigment body, and which is equipped with 2 inserts. The length and width of the pig cage are divided into 2 specifications, 12 with 14 and 14 plus 14. The height includes 5 types, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have totally with 10 specifications of this cage. And the inserts are available with 2 specifications, long and short, and different lengths conspread to different colors, as you can see on our table. And next, let us introduce the instruments to you. The first one is the opening cone, and next one is the distraction nail holder, and the distractor. And next one is a trial motor. For this P cage, we have 10 specifications. So we have 10 trial motors. And for the trial motors, we have 2 colors. Hammer. And next is the hammer. For the hammer, we have 2 functions. One is it can be used as a bone graft fixator. And the other fixation function is it can be used for striking. And next are 2 limiters. The limiters are used together with the holder. One is already pre-installed on the holder. With 2 spare limiters, we have 3 pieces of the limiters. And the limiters can be removed and replaced. And the U-shaped motor is the largest one, suitable for the beginners, but it has a certain impact on the surgical field of view. And there is a holding forceps. It is used to hold the inserts. And next we have 2 pieces of the drivers, which are used to drive the inserts to conjunction with the holder. And this concludes the instruction of the matching instruments. And in addition to the above mentioned special instruments, we have some basic instruments for removal and also required for this surgery. Includes the carotids, and the rounders, and the retractors. At the beginning of the operation, the patient will be fixed in a suitable position, and the target vertebra is determined, and the target position is exported step by step according to the process. In order to save time, we will use a model that has already complete removal for the demonstration. 然后我们就开始。First of all, we were using an opening cone to puncture the vertebral on both sides of the target intervertebral disc as the entry point for the distraction nail. The position of the distraction nail is very important for this operation because for this cage, it is a plug-in type, and the two inserts will be inserted into the upper and lower vertebral for fixation. In order to ensure that the insert does not interface with the distraction nails, it is necessary to ensure that the position of the distraction nail is kept at a safe distance from the end plate. 8毫米。对。And 8 mm will be a safety distance. Yes. 好，这边结束了。And next, we will use a distraction holder to screw the distraction screws into the two target vertebral. Now we will insert the distractor and 调节 and adjust it to a vertebral. 清理了吗？And we will clean the interval disc. And actually, it has already been cleaned in advance. 清理完毕。And after the end plate is cleaned, we will release the distractor. 释放。The distractor does not need to be removed. Yes. It will stay there. Yes. Then we will use a trial model 试模 to adapt the position of the weight of the disc. And in order, we will from small size to large size. And we will select the appropriate trial model size to confirm the size of the required implants. Yes. 确认要求的这个视网尺寸。Okay, after the size of the peak is determined, the citronase package is unsealed and the bone grafting is performed. If there is not enough outer-lungs bone, the artificial bone can be used with a bone grafting device to complete the bone grafting. 就是可以什么填充是吧？大公母的填充。然后我是要继续了。After the bone graft is completed, the holder and the cage are connected. 连起来了。Now we need to observe the structure of the holder and the cage carefully. After hooking one side, we will insert the screw and tighten the bolts to achieve a stable fixation of the holder and the cage. 然后还有一个什么预设置的一个，我们继续吗？就是有零角度的什么1到1.5毫米那个。对。The holder has been installed with a smaller stopper, and when the stopper is in the 0 position, there is a gap of 1 to 1.5 millimeter between the bottom of the stopper and the P cage, the P cage main body. Yes. After the cage is driven into the intervertebral disc, the stopper presses against the pig body. And the pig body will have a syncing distance of 1 to 1.5 millimeter. And the zero notch is achieved. And now we will insert the cage. We need to pay attention to the direction. With the curved side of the cage. And stop tapping. 停止打入。When the stop hits the vertebral body， 已经进去了。And now with the help of the X-ray, we need to confirm whether the depth is reasonable. 深度是否合理？对。If the depth is not enough， 如果不够的话，we need to adjust the position of the stopper and increase the insertion depth accordingly. 调整深度。好，是不是结束了？ After the cage is inserted, we need to prepare to insert the fixation plate. If it is a single segment surgery, 如果是单点手术usually only one long size are used to ensure the stability of the cages. 然后是如果是两个 For the two inserts, first we will drive the lower vertebral body fixation plate and use a clip to insert the plate into the port and below the holder in the correct direction. The lower vertebral body fixation plate should be inserted from the upper insertion port, and after the fixation plate sets in, we will use the first driver, 第一把这个起子的地方 to drive it slowly to the bottom, 缓慢向底部打入 along the holder. And we need to note that after the lines are aligned, 不要继续那个 hit 它 do not continue to hit to prevent the main body of the cage from shifting. 就可以停止了，对吧？然后不需要移动，不需要滑走。During the insertion of the fixation plates, the spreader does not need to be removed. In order to ensure that the peak does not shifting during the insertion process, the cage can also be pressurized. 第一把那个是吧？ When the first insert reaches to the specified position, the position of the insert is judged on the X-ray to see if it is reasonable. If the position is acceptable, now we change to the second insert to complete the final fixation of the insert. The first insert must be implanted after the second one completes the final fixation. According to the insertion process of the first insert, we need to complete the final fixation of the second inserts. 这边就讲完了。现在我就是说，如果两边那个都插入之后，然后呢要 X 光来确认。And now our engineer is insert the second pieces of the cage. 可以到了吗？还没到。人每个人打两次，一共打4次。Okay. So, and after the both inserts have been fixed, we need to with X-ray to make the final confirmation. If the cage and the inserts are in the place, the holder can be removed. First, we need to unlock the locking bolts. 解锁 and disengage the hook on the other side carefully. 慢慢拿出，然后最终手术结束。And finally, the operation was completed. 这边还有一个备注，可以说了吧？就是紧急情况，对，可以开始了。可以。If there is an emergency needed to be remove the cage, it is necessary to use a bone crystal to break the insert tracks on both sides on the peak. 两边。And then we will use a special fixed plate remover to hook the fixed plate and rotate the handle of the removal instruments to remove the inserts. 拿出 And finally, remove the peak. And now the first new product of our UniC standalone cervical cage, we have finished the instruction the full operation process, and our engineer will change to the second products in about 3 minutes. And within these 3 minutes, I would like to show you our showing room with you together. The first part is our company introduction. Our company was founded in 2012, and we are specialized in manufacturing orthopedic implants and instruments. And with cutting-edge equipment and advanced management, we have already got CE and ISO certification, and we have already exported to over 70 countries in the world. And next, I will show you our company secret. The first one is our mission. Our mission is caring for orthopedic health, empowering a happy life. And next one is our vision. Our vision is to become a leading exporter of orthopedic devices in China. And the last one is our values. Our values are service, efficiency, guaranteed, and a win-win both sides. And next, I will show you around our sample room. The first part is our spine system. For example, this is our 5.5 millimeter system of the spinal pedicle screw. This is instruments. And here are some implants of this 5.5 millimeter spinal pedicle screw system. And this is our 5.5 Miss posterior triangle instrument set. And next is our maxillofacial system. We also call it CMF system. And here are some implants of our maxillofacial system. And next is our intermediary nail system. Okay, and our engineer already finished the preparation for the second product. And now we will back to the table and continue to introduce the cervical cage. Okay, so now we will start the introduction of the second zero profile cage. It is composite of a PU cage and the titanium plate with 2 screws. And the screws are divided into 2 diameters, 3.5 and 4.0. And the lengths include 4 specifications from 12, 14, 16, and 18. And the different screw diameters, we will use different colors. And the 3.5 screw at the bottom is a self-drilling design. And the 4.0 screw, it is a self-tapping design. And the cage, we divided into 8 specifications with the height from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Totally 8 sizes. And next we will introduce the instruments to you. First one is the opening cone, and the distraction pin, and the holder, and the distractor, and the trimotors, For the child motors, we also have the 8 pieces from 5 to 12. And 2 peak coupling handles. It is standard AO interface. And next is the bone graft. The bone graft hammer. The bone graft hammer and the bone graft limiter. And the holder. It is used to hold the cage for insertion. And the hammer. This is the hammer. And the screw hole opener. We have 2 types. One is sleeve, and the other one is angled device. And the screwdriver bar, and the screw holding sleeve. And next we have 4 depth limiting dry bits and 1 drilling guide. And finally, it is the angle nailer. The handle and the core rod can be assembled and disassembled. It is convenient for disinfection. And next we will start to procedure the demonstration. According to the established procedure, the patient was immobilized and the target position was exposed.
Yes.
First of all, we will use an opening point to open the target vertebral body and place a distraction pin. Insert a distractor. And our engineer is insert the distractor with a distractor. And now we will clean the invariable disc. It needs to be cleaned. And after this preparation is completed, the distractor will be removed. And the distraction pins are also removed. And now we will use the trial motor to insert the target vertebral in order from the small size to large size and determine the operable size of the cage. After selecting the size of the cage, we need to use bone grafting to Then we will choose the suitable size and with bone grafting to perform on it. And bone grafting is completed with the help of a bone graft filter vise and a bone grafting hammer. Then we will hold the graft cage and are assembling. And the tracks on both sides clamp and the titanium plate behind the cage to ensure the stability. And then after the cage is inserted into the target vertebral disc with a hammer. After it is properly inserted, the position of the cage will be verified with X-rays.
Yes.
And after confirming that the position of the cage is appropriate, we need to prepare to insert the screws. Usually, the doctor will select the appropriate size of the screw according to the patient's specific situation. For example, if you choose a 3.5 self-drilling screw,
Yes.
you only need to use an opening cone to open the screw hole.
对，
看那个。
只要用一个开进器配合我们才粘。
We have two opening cones are provided, one with sleeve protection and the other with an angled design. This is the angled design.
Yes. For limited spaces.
The angled opening cone can complete the opening of the hole in a smaller space. 更小的地方去那个一些东西，继续是吧？ And if we are going to use a 4.0 locking screw, 4.0 locking screw, you need to select a drill bit with the length you need and use the drill guider to manually drill the bottom hole of the screw. ，After the drill bit reaches the limited position, we need to confirm whether the drill bit is inserted to the reasonable depth on the X-ray, so as to determine the length of the screw. 这边结束了是吧？然后这边我们有两个选择。There are two options to insert the screws. One is with a quick change screwdriver, used with a nail holding sleeve. And the other one is an angled screwdriver. This is an angled screwdriver. As you can see, our engineer is testing the screws with this angled screwdriver. 还要继续吗？
等一下，也就是现在就是怎么装钉，现在装两边钉，一边装一层。
这个还有一个注意事项的吧？ There is a nail holding design between the screw and the driver. But for more stability, 为了更稳定 you can also use a nail holding sleeve.
对，我现在就用这个。
This is a nail holding sleeve, right?
Yes.
And unlock the nail holding sleeve after the screw has been screwed into the body, and we need to screw to the final position. 最终的位置。Now we need to pay attention to the depth of the screw. 注意螺钉的深度。And when it reaches to the bottom, we need to prevent the damage to the nail channel. 有什么通道？
已经到通道了。
啊，你还没到是吗？
我在这上钉。好了，这个特色好了，我们就可以把它就是后头拆除后头的钉到。
拆除后的。现在是合适的钉到合适的深度。然后就是到底。
对。
然后就是整个那个随定的那个通道。
就是不要去伤到后面。
还没有到人物。
行，
到了吗？
行，上来第一针，我现在两个钉已经打完。
And follow the same steps to install the second screw. And we have already finished the two screws. 然后移除了是不是？And then now we will remove the holder and confirm again the position. 再复确认这个位置。
对。
And the depths of the two screws. 两个深度。Now after the two screws are implanted, the locking cap in the middle of the titanium plate is rotated to the 90 度 to 90-degree position to prevent the two screws from retreating. Under X-ray, the final conformation of the cage is completed.
Yes.
And now the operation is completed as well.
准备
最后一个可以。
再带着大家讲一下。
And now our engineer will prepare the second type of our zero profile cage. And then now we will continue to show you our sample room with you together. And here, 你可以远景一下，不然可能看不太清楚。不要放东西。And here are some instruments and the implants of our trauma system. We have different types of the trauma system, both of the small fragment and the large fragment. And here we also have the sports medicine, the arthroscopy system. And here are some implants of our arthroscopy system. For example, this is a fast fix. And here are some instruments of our arthroscopy system. And next, we also have the external fixation system. And we also can provide you with power tools. OK 了是吧？可以开始了吗？还有半分钟呢。好，过来一些。好的。过来一些，没关系啊。慢点，再给他们回复一下。走，他们给你可以准备了。As you can see, we have the different product systems, both from the spine system and the trauma system. And now our engineer has already finished preparation the third types of the cage, and we will continue to show you the products and the instrument sets. Hello everyone. Hello. And now we will step to our last zero profile cage. And the implants, it is very similar to the previous one, which is also a combination of PEEK, titanium plates, and screws. For this model, we have 4 screws, and they are all locking screws. And the screw, we have only 1 diameter, 3.0, and 4 lengths, from 12, 14, 16, and 18. And the PEEK body is available in 8 heights, from 5 mm to 12 mm, totally 8 sizes. And then we will introduce the instrument sets with you together. The instruments in this set are similar to the previous cervical cage with 2 locking screws.
Yes, very similar.
Very similar. And so we will focus on introducing the difference of some instruments only. For this instrument set, it includes the forceps. Forceps. For holding the cage. It is holder for holding the fusion PEEK cage and inserting the fusion cage.
Holder.
对 and 2 drilling guides. You can see our engineer, he is assembling the PEEK cage with the holder. 下面是2个那个盖子，那个导针还是什么东西？
来就是一个对钻头导向器，对，钻头。
And next are 2 drilling guides one with a handle,
一个有柄的，
and one with a straight type.
是行的。
不会可以直接旋进去。
The head has a locking threaded that can be screwed with a titanium plate. And this is a 1.2 mm torque. And next we will also start the surgical process. The first part of the process is same as the other two cages.
然后你可以装了。
对，就可以直接就装了。
对 The cage and the holder.
支付的这个 grafting， 就是
你别慌了，不推你。这个可以吗？你可以帮助的嘛，你可以那个辅助的。
那个里面东西没就没准备的。大概就是这样一个支付装。
And as you can see, it is quite similar with the last cervical cage of the two locking screws. After the holder grafting are assembling, it is completely by combining the structural features of the holder, head, and the four holes of the titanium plate.
对，连接好了。
现在用 hammer 了。
对。
Now we will use a hammer to insert the cage into the target distance. And after the P cage is properly positioned, we will prepare for the screw implantation.
要上钉了。
对，我们先转，这里有一个可以预转。
There is a hole on the holder to complete the placement of the first locking pin.
然后我要使用那个 limited driver。
limited driver 就是你直接就 limited driver。你是我们今天准备上钉的选钉。然后 limited 你说的是这个。
对，到底
没道理，现在没道理，跟我这个。
没事，那你就做你的吧。
这个不对用我。
这边有个洞是吗？
As you can see, there is a hole on the holder to complete the placement of the first locking pin.
别求，你把那个中文的我还要给我。我不记不住它。好，不动。
如果我们第一个已经到位以后，
现在我要用限位段来瞄。你还没到限位段吗？
对，我第一个的话就是先预打的，因为第一个的话打孔是不太需要的。
这个跟这个不太一样啊。
反正我现在准备把后头取掉了，就第一个钉确认没问题，把后头取掉。
就是实际上完成手动的植入了。
对。
那我现在用限位，你现在用限位段了呀？
我现在把后头取掉以后再用效果。
好的。
好。下回再。
Now we will use the limited drill to drill from the bottom hole. After the drill reaches the limited, we will use the X-ray to determine whether the drill depth is applicable, so as to determine the appropriate length of the locking nail.
X 光判断是否合适。
其中一种，然后我们再用带 screw 的这个，用。
And next we will insert the screw in the locking pin of the appropriate length. And here you do not need to use a torque wrench. for the final tightening.
就不需要用那个
它肯定用的，
有一扳手。
也真的有。
Under the X-ray, we will validate the position of the cage and the first screw. If applicable, we will need to remove the
对吧？
holder.
那就在这里。
And then we will prepare for the replacement for the other 3 screws. And you can use an opening cone to open the locking hole. And according to the habits, 2 drive guides are used freely and in conjunction with a limited drive bit to complete the bottom hole drilling of the locking hole. 然后4枚螺钉的拧入已经还在拧是吧？这是第几个 ？Now we are inserting the 3rd locking screw. Totally, we need to insert with 4 locking screws.
对吧？
And for the 4 screws, it can be inserted with different positions.
可交叉位置进行。
对，就是拿这可以可以。
有力手柄了吗？
没有，这个我全部给它拧上啊，这个展示一个是带脚的部分啊。
Now we are insert the locking screw with the angled screwdriver.
4枚锁钉完全植入了。
So we have finished all the 4 locking screws.
对，
但是我们现在用
套动了是吧？
我最终1.2厘米的比例算一下。
And after all the 4 locking screws are implanted, now we will use a 1.2 mm torque to tighten all the screws.
上级。
And our engineer is tightening all the screws. As you can hear the sound.
咔，是没咔的声音。没事，上级就没关系。上级就到这。
就到这样。
And so we have already finished all the 4 locking screws. And until now, the operation is completed.
全部结束了。
Yes, I'll finish.
还没结束，还没结束。
So we have already finished the instruction of all the 3 cervical cages and the instrument sets with you together today. And we will have broadcasting each month. And we'd like to share our products with you together. Thanks a lot for watching. And we will say goodbye to you today. Bye bye.
Bye bye.